As famed dungeon masters, all saints once said, when their home game fell apart, a few questions that I need to know. How you could ever hurt me so. Never, ever, ever, ever gonna get to play. When we schedule, you always change the day. Never, ever, ever, ever gonna get XP. All you do is seduce and kill my NPCs. Hey, hey! Welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism: alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. There are other episodes that are better to start with, but stick around. Not much better. It's not, it's similar games, don't worry about it. But we start the show by introducing everyone, including ourselves, to the beers we brought to the table this week. And what I have brought, for new viewers, you won't get this, a sick dig, but I'm starting with a beer called Phantom by the White Hag. Oh, yeah, suck it. Starting with Phantom. But going around our overlay, I believe next up I have the wonderful, the amazing, the one and only Wes. Wes, what are you drinking?
I have quite a collection this evening. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, I think I left one downstairs, but it'll come back up. I'll announce it dramatically. I was saying to some of the crew before the show, I rarely get like combat-focused beers, but we're in a fight and I'm a barbarian, so let's go for it. We have Immolator from Whiplash, which actually sounds quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping will help set things on fire. We have Ambush from Trouble Brewing, which also sounds quite nice.
Nice.
We have, this one just had a really cool can. It's got like a samurai lady with an umbrella.
Ah, cool.
It's called Conventional Tactics, which I hope will help somehow.
That'd be great.
This was the one this cost nearly €9, but I didn't realize till I was at the checkout, and the name is too good. It's called Run Overdrive. So I'm hoping that'll come in at some point. It's probably tastes like piss. And then second to last, we also have the one I'm most excited about from Siren. Okay, I'll bite. Which, I mean, I know the tone they meant it for initially, but I'm definitely taking it to be like, I'm gonna bite you. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know what any of them taste like, but I will report as we go.
Lovely. Paul, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a dangerous combination of, once again, Kraken. To bring it, I'm going to definitely use it this time to bring the holder down to the ground. And then I'm also drinking Havana Club. Havana Club 7 year, because I think someone needs a weapon. And might be calling the Havana Club an ancient, powerful weapon. Which goes. And then I'm just filling it with Coke. And then, of course, I've got my potions up in the corner. So
The usual potions. Nice. They will come in handy, I am sure. Lucy, do you have anything wild and wonderful?
Wild and wonderful. Yes, I am drinking. This is lemon squash out of a Smithwick's. So that's cool. I think that'll be probably very useful. And then otherwise, I am drinking the blood of my enemies. Specifically, some lovely red wine. Maybe this will be of some use. I'm hoping so. But I'm hoping maybe these are the blood of the people we're going to save. No, that sounds creepy. That's wrong. Yeah.
Is the wine actually called the blood of your enemies?
I fucking wish. No, it's not.
No. Because I buy that wine.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
But in Italian, then it's fine.
And Keelan, you have a collection of beers.
Oh yeah, I mean, do you want me to go through all of them? They are fun.
Nah, like favorite top three. Save some for a surprise of the show.
Favorite top three. Well, I don't know what any of them taste like. But the favorite top three are sexiest can alive. I mean, if I can find any way to use sexiest can alive, then
Put your heads up.
that'll be good.
That'd be great.
Other ones that might be useful. I suppose most practically useful is radio the mothership. I mean, if I can get a situation to radio a mothership,
that's divine intervention in the can.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really thought just aliens, but yeah, sure, deities. I was like, just come on, there's a mothership, you know.
I've had several interactions with gods,
mean,
I wouldn't take it quite so literally.
Well, sure, and then Then we'll go with. I just like this one. Good night.
Good night.
You know, good
Oh,
night.
with a K.
Just-
I
yeah.
see.
It's a K. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's got all sorts of elements. No potential spoilers right now for what immediately happened in the last episode. But I'm going to be drinking a lot more beers. I think this session. I'm going to have a lot more.
Kick back.
Maybe.
Yeah. You guys are going to get heckled.
We've used good night before. I've used it at the very end of the show once when I said good night and joy be with you all, and I held up a good night because we didn't get around to actually introducing it.
Yeah,
Good night. Yeah.
I have to say I bought a lot of them based on the names, and I haven't really considered. Jesus, good night's 8.7%. I get it.
Yeah.
I know why it's called that. It's a tiny can. I wasn't
8.7
expecting that.
is a lot. Mine's
actually-
8, and I'm a bit wary of that. 8.7 is
8.5. Really, it's the sexiest can alive is the only one that I've shown potentially sub 8. Let's see. What is it?
Oh wow.
It's 8. It's 8 exactly. The other two are 8.5. Those are the other two that I showed you. So I'm drinking a pineapple lemon sour. That's only 3.5%. So that'll probably be the lightest drink.
So you're able to just mute Keelan if he just gets a little bit too raucous as the mic goes on. You know.
in fact,
Right.
even if he doesn't, don't mind.
Absolutely.
That was a shadow.
Yeah, but you can't stop the camera.
Yes, I can.
I'll turn up in yours. I know where you live. Roughly, I know.
Kicking in the door.
Yeah.
If you're drinking in the sidebar, if you're watching along live and you're chatting along live and you're drinking in the sidebar, let us know what you're drinking. The punks might need it this episode.
Yes.
And I'm going to be...
Yes.
yeah, I'm going to be nice.
Because I can use. Thank you.
Honorary punk Lindsay, but did specifically try to go out in the last 2 weeks to get you beers that you could use to help. I will be nice and say that you can use one of the beers that she has put in our Discord.
Okay.
So
Are you
by
going to
all
tell us
means,
which one that one's the one?
No,
I know,
your
I know
choice.
what you're saying.
Yeah, your choice.
Yeah, Lindsay put in quite a huge haul in the Discord. And
Yeah,
updating
yeah,
every day or so as well. It was really enjoyable to keep up to date with it. And all the redacted spoiler entries that everyone's like, this will help if redacted.
We were quite good at not spoiling it for anyone else who isn't up to date. But if you are interested in coming to talk to us about the show or about beers or about anything, we have a quiet, cozy little Discord. It's not going to bother you with notifications. We only kick off every once in a while. And you can find that Discord link pretty much across our social channels. So if you go to Twitter and find Homebrew Quest, I think our pinned tweet has the VODs, the pods, and the chats. So you'll see it there and you can join us. And introduce yourself when you do. We'd love to get to know you. Anything else before we begin? Yes, we're using Syrinscape again. So if you need to add epic music to your epic games, go to Syrinscape.com, and they've got a whole lot of sound sets there, not only just for D&D and high fantasy, but cyberpunk. There is some Pathfinder stuff. There was just general modern stuff as well. Some of the music I'm using today isn't in the fantasy kit, but you might recognize it because other fantasy shows use it. So I was like, oh, that's where they found it. They found it on Syrinscape. Or rather, Syrinscape has a bunch of loads of things that you might recognize. A bunch of some of the Kevin MacLeod stuff is on there as well. So plenty of music to add to your games, and we highly recommend that you do. There's a full attribute link in the description below if you want to find out exactly what we're using. But if you're in the description below, if you're kind of in the YouTube interface, I'll tell you what you could do. Move your mouse up to the new tab, little button, click a new tab, go to YouTube, and then search a little Hear Us Out. Paul, if they search Hear Us Out, what will they see there?
So they'll see a bunch of videos from two crazy people, mostly. But yeah, no, we do an entertainment show, talking about TV and movies, and this week we're going to be talking about what makes a disaster movie, and also a good one. So just in honorary of Moonfall that's coming out this weekend.
To clarify, is that disaster as in about a natural disaster or bad movies?
Oh, as in disaster movies, so natural disaster, or Independence Day is technically a disaster movie as well. But it's like Volcano, Deep Impact, Armageddon, that kind of stuff.
Dante's Peak, the classics.
I mean, everyone has that fucking old lady walking through the lake scene burned into their brain.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I remember
yeah.
from that movie.
I've always wondered why why she melted, but the boat didn't. melted all?
She's made of metal, but the boat was actually made of non-meltable substances.
It's basic chemistry here.
Everything that went into that lake melted except for the boat.
Which was made of metal.
I might have been made out of wood.
Find
No, I
these
think it was
questions and more on Hear Us Out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember the film that well, to be honest, other than that one thing. Yeah. So.
Thanks, Rice. I think that's it. Are you ready to? We'll pick up where we left off. We're right in the middle of a battle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to pick up a little bit before where we left off, so we can stop Keelan getting disintegrated by a beholder eye.
I wasn't disintegrated. I was death rage, straight up death.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
I'm still there's still a body. You know.
Yeah.
That's an important, potentially
that'll
important distinction.
So I will clarify that in a moment, because at the end of the last episode, we might as well jump in, but I will clarify it once we get through the recap. Let's get the audience up to speed. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. That's right, it's a high school special. Huck, Makara, Kataharla, what happened?
Well, it's a bad time for a recap. We're kind of in the middle of something. Hey, watch out! That could have killed me. So I'll catch you up though. Let's see. We rocked on into the underworld. We're trying to kill the old Mór Demon. He's over there. You can see him. He's big. He's gross. He's skelly type. We're here helping Iggy sort out her whole thing. So then the Mór Demon is actually, it opened up quite well. The Mór Demon was like, "Oh, please go away. Give me my tiny piece of the underworld." And then Iggy was like, "No, you're gonna die!" And then she struck a really cool pose, and we went straight into fight. And sure, it's been good crack. I hit it with a giant fireball. It's been blasting rays at everyone and missing basically everyone. It's crap at rays. And then let's see what else happened. Arlington was running at it, and then he froze for a while, and now he seems to be all chummy with it. I don't know what's going on there. It's strange. He seems to have almost a new twinkle in his eye. I've seen a lot of different twinkles in Arlington's eyes, but this seems like a new twinkle. I don't know. But we'll figure it out after the battle. He's probably just a little bit angrier than normal. I'm sure he's. I mean, maybe the Mór Demon, someone he was in a crew with. I mean, he's been in a crew with all sorts of people, so maybe that's what it is.
That would be such a twist.
And it could be that. Let's see what else happened. I bumped into Evandra, the god of luck. She was, sweet fuck all in the end, but it was good crack. And then let's see. Rander was just like stock standard, really just actually hitting everyone and buffing people. Really your classic in a fight, I don't know that much else happened. Missed some things. He got paralyzed, I think, possibly briefly from one of those rays, one of the few rays, and then I think that's. Did I miss anything? I feel a little. Is that my body down there? Jesus, I don't know if that ray back at the start missed me.
Too soon.
I think I died. Lads, can you hear me? They're not reacting. This is bad. All right. Well, I've been through worse, I guess.
And at that, your vision sort of fades to white.
Uh-oh.
We, everyone who's not Huck, we sort of zip back a couple of seconds before this moment. Arlington, specifically. In the moments before Huck gets hit by this Mór Demon's death ray, you feel a premonition of his death flash before your eyes. You actually see it happen. Like, you get a little bit of a head start, almost like your danger sense is warning you of something drastic and unimaginable. But being charmed by the Mór Demon as you are, unable to fully act on this information, you try to rage. You try to bash and break free of this. Come in!
Dude.
You try to break free of the hold this Mór Demon has in your mind. There is a relentless fury, a dark anger that you have kept buried deep within you, and you feel it rising to the surface. Your eyes turn a deep crimson, completely bloodshot. Your muscles begin to spasm. And at this moment in time, Wes the player, I want you to go to your D&D Beyond character sheet and look at your feats.
Ooh.
while you're looking at your feet, you'll notice a new one, and
You don't actually have to
everyone
put
else.
5 feet.
Oh, he done draw.
No,
on my
while he's looking
sheet.
at his feet.
Yes, bashfully looking at you.
I done diddle on his stupid little feet. And all of us hear as this death ray hits Huck, the Mór Demon turned to you, and you hear his voice echo in your mind. Pop goes the weasel. As Huck gets hit with this ray and seemingly just not necessarily explodes, but just isn't there. Paul, to your point earlier, there is no body that you can see. But that is not to say that his body is not here. For the audience's sake, and I don't mind if the players metagame on this, we see Huck fall to the ground, and these eyes and limbs and sort of shapes of souls that make this room just absorb him.
Gross.
Very gross. We will keep our same initiative. We will keep everything going as it is. But, Arlington, what is happening to you?
You're asking me? Okay.
Well, I can describe your new feat. You see new feat?
Oh, sorry.
Rhea
You didn't
struck.
describe the new feat on my sheet. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Struck the feet in
Now
your.
the feat. Oh, Jesus, my Irish is brutal. Rheastrad? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. But
You cannot contain the dark rage building within. As the pressure builds, you feel yourself flying into a terrifying battle frenzy. It says frenzy, 1 bonus action. So does that mean I can go into like a frenzied rage now?
Correct.
Tasty.
Mm-hmm. But it comes at a cost.
Yeah, a level of exhaustion.
So yeah, my death.
Oh, no,
I have to die for you to get this stupid frenzy.
Did you see the descriptive text? I can jump to it if you want, because being your DM, that's the.
Oh, I didn't
So-
There's probably more penalties I'll be paying.
No, that's okay. I can
Write-
get to it.
write them
Just-
in now.
As the Rheastrad takes hold, your form contorts and twists inside your skin, causing you to become more beast
Yeah.
than man. Ooh, I like this very much. Your shins crack backwards, shoulder blades hunch forwards as your very body reshapes to accommodate your beastly tensing form. The world itself responds to this raw power. The air itself thrashes around you in a path of destruction that recognizes neither friend nor foe. Oh, I see. For the duration of this registered rage, you can make a single melee attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. You cannot be charmed or frightened. Okay, excellent. When this rage ends, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. To end the rage early, you succeed a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw. On a 20 or higher, you avoid taking a level of exhaustion. That's fucking cool.
And the sidebar have realized what this is. This is Cuchulain's warp spasm, the Rheastrad from real Irish mythology.
I didn't cop the Cuchulain battle frenzy. Cool.
Yes, you have now a Cuchulain battle frenzy, but it does mean that the charm effect on you has dropped.
Cool. Okay.
Good.
There's you.
Yeah. You have
Yeah,
that friend.
Andy.
Very, very happy.
I was going to try and whack you with my big hand to distract you. That wouldn't have worked, and I would have, just been tickling you or something. So.
It might have.
Belly rub.
No, stay.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into that. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Top of the round, because as far as I'm aware, I could have gotten this wrong. It was the last of the Mór Demon's turns. It wasn't like a legendary action or anything. So better just go top of the round and keep clean slate. Huck, you were top of the round. I will get back to you.
23, yeah, so I go first.
Yeah, what's the order? Can you remind me?
Yes, I can. So it should have gone Huck, but he is now dead. Then the layer itself seems to react around you. And then we have Randir, Arlington, Iggy, and the Mór Demon last. So Randir, what you see is this Mór Demon laughing. as he takes down one of you, and it seems to fill him with a extra sense of vigor. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so Randy was also the closest to Huck, so he's pretty stunned. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight in. I'm gonna use a Kraken. I'm gonna use the Kraken ale or rum to pull him down. I want to summon a Kraken and pull him down to the ground.
Oh, that's actually a thing you can do.
I love this.
I would love to try. I don't know.
Yes.
The DM has a choice.
No, absolutely. Roll a. What's the best way to summoning a Kraken and pulling it down to the ground? Like, DC has an interesting scale. You know, impossible to nigh on, very impossible. But I don't.
I used whatchamacallit, End Luck, or the, I've already forgotten it because I'm dead now. The one that creates a wild magic surge right before I died. So
Tides of Chaos.
Tides of Chaos. So there is chaotic wild magic in the moment if you need that.
Lovely. That's going to lower the DC. And I would normally just go like percentile, almost like a what's that cleric spell, divine intervention or whatever, where you have to get under your level. That doesn't seem fun. So I just want you to roll a d20 and add your, what's a warlock base stat? Charisma. Charisma is what warlocks use. Yeah,
Okay,
add your charisma.
cool. I got 19 altogether then. I rolled an 18.
19. I will tell you exactly what you cast. There is a spell called Hunger of Hadar, of which inky tendrils come out of a black hole and sort of slither and lick, and it's a moist space. It's gross. The description of it's gross. And we're going to, you know what? You don't need to see the actual D&D size of things. Above the Mór Demon, a portal opens to an elemental plane of water, and from this portal we see this large tentacle spin out, and it's just hanging in the air. Not a full Kraken, but the arm or leg or limb of a Kraken. A second one begins to kind of hold the edge of the hole, and it seems to be pulling out, and this waterfall is gushing down on top of the Mór Demon, already putting pressure on him. So a Kraken has been summoned in a portal in the sky, but let's see if the Mór Demon can at least make a dexterity saving throw to not get plummeted to the ground. Oh, D&D. He doesn't even have a stat for dexterity saving. He has dexterity, but he doesn't have an extra bonus for saving throws.
Yes.
With an 11, all of you see as Randir, like a seafaring fury, of which you, for a dwarf, is quite uncommon. And in a split second, you barely even register it. It's like water, tentacle, Mór Demon crushed onto the ground, slam. Randir, roll some bludgeoning damage. Let's say it's 2d10 plus 5.
Okay.
It sounds like you would just assume this must just be shit that happens in hell. Like that might not just like a sort of hell.
Another day in the underworld.
So I got 11 on dice plus 5, so 16 altogether.
16, taking 16 damage. And as quick as the Kraken has been summoned, it disappears into the spiraling purple column of wild magic smoke that exists in this space. That was your free action. What would you... No, I'm kidding. That was your action. What would you like to do for bonus action movement, etc.?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really injured right now, and I don't think anyone's stunned. So I'm just gonna end my go.
Nice.
I also don't want to get the wrath of the DM who wants us to move on quickly.
Oh no, we're doing pretty quickly this time. Don't worry. And I was discussing this earlier in the week. Feel free to jump in with like little descriptor text, being like "whoa" or like reactions. It's something I think could benefit. I will try to do the same, because waiting for me to roll dice in silence is no one's idea of a good time.
I enjoyed it. That's someone's
Arlington.
in the chat. I wouldn't be surprised.
You're up, Iggy. You are on deck. The Mór Demon has been slammed down, is pinned, somewhat stunned, on the floor in front of you.
Sorry, my go, is it?
Tis your go.
Okay.
And then
am I
Iggy,
already
you're
raging, or am I gonna has that
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of DM magic wand and say that this first time the Reastrad takes hold, it's involuntary.
All right.
And actually, I think I wrote in the description that it's always involuntary. It's in response to very stressful
Oh, cool.
situations. DM discretion.
Okay. Cool. It's like the opposite of plot armor.
Go fight
I
this
might
thing.
kill everyone and me. Cool. All right. I would like to. Okay, I go full rage. I just, as the rage is consuming me, like the knees snap, the skin starts going gross. It all turns a bit strange, and Arlington kind of turns like side-eyed towards the Mór Demon above his head, and just like calmly says, "Did you just kill my half?" And I'm going to leap at him, grab him. Wait, no. Oh no! I just have the darts. Oh no! I leap at him with the blow dart gun in my mouth.
Oh, could I use a reaction now?
Absolutely.
And use the Havana Club to
Yes.
summon a club for Arlington? I no longer have any drinks I'm allowed to use,
That
but
would be great. I completely forgot I don't have an axe. So I was like, oh no. Oh,
the only reason I'm mixing these drinks in any fashion is to like to give you a weapon.
Aw.
And also put a
Arlington.
Kraken into the game.
Make a. I presume you're using the bracers of Think Fast to toss this club in his direction, Render.
Yeah.
So, make a dexterity check, Arlington. I think that's what that is.
I will do that right this very second. Dexterity check. It's a 9. Oh, sorry, 11. Excuse me.
Roll a d6, Randy.
Okay. Let's see. I got a 3.
3. As you begin to rush forward towards this Mór Demon, you feel a crack in the back of your head as you take 5 bludgeoning damage, obviously half, so 2, as this club spins ahead of you, and long arm bugbear out, you grab it, but it did hit you in the back of the head first, and a hilarious mishap.
Sorry, excuse me. How much damage is that?
2 damage.
Oh, I am.
1, 2.
Okay, sorry.
I've already halved it for the
It all
rage. don't worry.
caught up. I can take that. That's fine. But I have it in my hand for the attack.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think Arlington probably pictured like a Thor moment, but it was just Thor on the back of his head. Cool. Then
That is will not get the credit it deserves.
Thank you. Cool. I'm going to recklessly attack at this thing. And I mean, I'm going to use my frenzy new bonus action thing as well, so kind of spinning around like 360, just kind of like trying to helicopter this guy. I would like to incite a beer, and because he still thinks I'm under his control, maybe it's an ambush.
Yes.
Which I would then like to invoke my racial feat or trait, which I have never used once in this campaign.
Oh yes, if you ambush someone.
As a bugbear, if I surprise attack someone once per combat, I can. It now has to be my first turn in combat, but I'm using the power of beer to hopefully negate that. I get
Yes.
to add 2d6 to the first attack. Bugbears are, despite being
Nice.
Sure
huge,
can.
they prefer guerrilla warfare.
On account of their long gorilla-like arms, I believe, if I've done my maths right, that you get an extra. So your basic attack is 2 attacks. So an action is 2 attacks plus this bonus action attack is 3 attacks. So I want you to roll 3 d20s for me because let's just do scattergun if that's okay with you.
I
Yeah.
think I used my action surge already, but I should probably save it anyway. 3 20s.
So we see this Mór Demon. Pop goes the smash down onto the ground, pinned down by a tentacle. And just as it's beginning to raise its head, looking up, its bugbear friend is racing towards it. What did you get?
Is he prone on the ground?
Prone. He fucking
Yeah, I get it.
is.
Oh,
What
I'm
you
reckless attacking
doing?
anyway. What am I doing? I should have got advantage on all of them anyway.
Oh, right.
So I
Should
rolled.
have. Which makes the rolling multiple dice difficult. Do you have different colored dice? Of like a similar
I'll
set?
tell you what, I rolled 3 dice already and I have those numbers. How about I just in the same order?
Go.
Just give me the advantage. So I got 12,
Perfect.
7, sorry, 12, 3, and 7 in that order. So
Cool.
we've now got 5, 10, and natural 20.
So
The 10 and the 20 now.
yes, exactly. So the way I'm going to do that is the 12 and the 3, the 5 and the 7, the 10 and the 20. Because they're the order in which you would have.
That makes sense.
So plus your attack modifier. What's that?
Attack modifier to hit is plus 9, but that's with my magic axe, so it should be plus 7.
14. Okay, cool. First and last crit hit.
Cool, so that's
For this, it's a Havana club, so let's say it's a D6.
okay, that works. Right, let's use the gun. So that's 1 hit and 1 crit, is that it?
1 hit, 1 crit, plus the 2 extra D6 on the first hit for your surprise ambush.
Let's do the.
So
that's.
So 5 D6 in total, I think, if you want to roll them all as one group.
Yeah, let's do that. 5d6. Roll.
Yeah.
Rander's just sitting there cheering because finally Ireland is back on our side.
That's going to be.
He's back!
Plus my strength modifier is going to be plus 5 as well. For each one.
Nice.
So that's.
In pause.
Plus 10.
Yeah, because there's only 2 attacks in it. Right, yeah. Cool.
Right.
So that is 27 damage altogether.
27 damage. Holy moly. So let me just mark this. Oh, hang on a second. Arlington, that seems like sham mats to me.
Oh.
That seems like a little bit of sham mats by Dead Center Brewing, which I have here. I think that's 10 damage. I don't think you added that up right. I think 10 damage is what I'll mark on this sheet, thanks to the sham mats.
Are you counteracting me with beer? Is that what's happening?
I'm counteracting the power of beer with beer.
Well, that doesn't feel good at all.
We do have Barry's beer. Barry's beer is faulty mats, which we can use on Ben. To say that what he was saying was sham mats
think
was in
that kinda
fact
works.
faulty
So I think
calculations.
If Arlington's in a full-on frenzied rage, he has like less control. So I think maybe the first one hits, and then he just like starts wailing on a nearby tree because he just thinks it's a threat.
Fair. And that tree didn't stand a chance. So did you want to take Huck's advice of using a sidebar beer? He also has sham mats. It's the same beer. It's the same beer, Ted.
Oh, sorry.
You counteract the beer is what I was saying.
I'd say that the sham mats was actually like 50. 50 damage.
That's
So we were using 3 beers on 1 attack that was, let's be real, lukewarm at best. Let's wait till we've got like one of our actual like nuclear warheads attacking this guy.
I do like sham mats of like 10. No, that first number is a 7.
Yeah.
So I've used my
Okay.
action, my bonus action. Can I use my movement? Would it take an action to climb up on top of this guy, or can I use the rest, like all of my 40 feet of movement to get up on top of him?
You could be standing on top of him. It's not going to... you won't be grappled or holding on in any shape or form.
Yeah,
That's,
Then-
that
of
takes
course he's-
mechanics.
Yeah, he's on the ground. Yeah, I want to like use my movement to stand on top of him. I suppose no. Yeah,
Okay.
walk away from the tree that I just pummeled into a stump, and then just stand on him. Poised and ready for the
You
next
are
attack.
standing on the Mór Demon.
Actually,
At the end of...
sorry, just for a bit of flavor at the end, Arlington's like leans down real close to like his main eye, and he, in his mind, he says like, "I'm going to punish you for trying to take my friend away from me. You'll never know rest or peace." But what actually comes out is, and he's like drooling into his eye.
Hey, he's keeping it moist. Yes.
As you stare into this eye, which has become more of a hollow space in this giant skull's head, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Right, yeah, his eyes is where the power is.
Why were you looking to the eye?
He's like,
And
like
he's-
holding into it like a loving embrace. Save a throw. Boop. I'm not good at these. That is a 6.
6. You feel this huge, cone-like wave of magic hit you. It blasts you back, pulling, almost trying to stretch your skin like a dog looking into a hairdryer. But you hold your ground. it is trying to, as it looks at you and pulls back its teeth in a marley gnaw, it tries to fill you with a sense of fear, of which you cannot feel in a Reastrad Rage. Meaning that its fear ray takes no effect. And in that moment, as the Mór Demon has a bugbear riding its face, I know how it sounds, and realizes that fear will not work, you notice for the first time Uno reverse fear in its own face. Iggy, it is your turn.
So I'm over kind of hiding behind this sort of shoots of magic over to the side, but I watch and I have seen what happened to Huck, and she let out a trying to be muffled scream, and I'd like to imagine that whatever sort of magic demontes that are all over her cloak, the Huck's punks, they all just, there's something about it that just vanishes. There was part of, this absolute heartbreak at seeing what just happened. And then my question is, if I have a spell that I want to do, and if I have something else that maybe isn't a spell, can the second thing be like if I'm not moving, is that what I do after the spell, or
tell me without, like, don't worry about the mechanics of D&D, don't worry about the rules so much, like, what do you want to... Yeah, exactly.
You gave me the very good note of just say your intention, and then you don't have to go like, oh, that doesn't work. Okay, so my intention, and what I've been doing in the last time, which is where we're looking around, we noticed that she noticed that these eyes on the wall, these are people that she knows. These are the people that they are here to save. I want to essentially perform to them, to look around. Now that I also can sense that Huck might be among them, I want to really, again, just try and speak to them. I don't know if I want to actually like cast suggestion on them. It's more of a, what I'm hoping is maybe I can use a wine. And this wine is called Campo Viejo, which I googled because I was like, oh my god, what is it going to mean? Is this going to save the day? Is this going to be exactly what I need? And the translation for this wine is Old Field, which is quite shit. But actually, I think it might be perfect because I want all of these people, I want their nostrils to be filled with the smells of the old field, our old town. What I connect with these people to, which is our land that they were taken from this demon, and I'm hoping that maybe I can use that to remind them where they're from and to tell them that I'm with them. And what I want them to do is to try and fight for their souls, to fight against it, and see if we can get them to fight back in some way.
I love it. Smell, as you know, as a sense, is one of the most powerful memory triggers. Both in, not in the real world, it smells awful in the real world, but in Hibernia, it's one of those senses that it's a real memory trigger. I would say this would be a performance check. It's not a performance in the typical sense of a bard, but given that you are a visual artist and you kind of play in the world of illusion, I would say this is a performance check. Now, this is where we play a little game called D&D. You can make a singular performance check, and I will have a sort of difficulty in mind. Or you can imbue it with the power of a spell like suggestion if you want, and that will make it more likely to happen, but it will cost you, it costs more of your turn, So it's up to you whether you want to take a higher risk, higher reward.
Okay, yeah, because I thought it was otherwise doing, say, like a dissonant whispers about for the same topic towards the thing that we're fighting and trying to kill, so it doesn't, before it kills my friends. So that could be of, some use.
What you're doing is incredibly useful. Like, that's not...
Okay, and then, but can I specify that if I am using suggestion, I'm still, it's everything I'm saying and showing to them is true, so I'm not trying to like trick them. If that makes sense. If there's a way that that can happen with the magic. Okay. So what kind of a saving throw do I do for that?
So you're going to do an ability check, either a performance or, now that suggestion is imbued in it, a persuasion check, whichever one's higher for you.
Okay, they're both the same. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we just let my internet slowly do it, or I can just do it manually. But now that I've
No,
touched
no, no. Okay. So what are you? You're filling the air with the smells of the old field, which smells like. What does your wine currently smell like?
it, it smells like rain. It smells
Rain.
like rain. Because a lot of these people were taken in the night, as night becomes morning when it's rainy. But it reminds them of waking up and going to school, but also being stolen from the pub and brought to their deaths. So that's what I hope, to turn this world into that and remind them of what they lost. And I got a 20.
21. Yeah, absolutely. As you fill the room with the smell of rain on on a day when day is just about to break, the room begins to shake. This happened to you moments before, where you felt like the spirits were paying attention to you and not the Mór Demon. You had sort of reminded them there's something worth fighting for, even if life is not one of those things. It is going to frustrate the Mór Demon to no end when what he's about to try to do on his next turn. You know what? Let's just cut to it. Just at the end of your turn, Arlington, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Yes, you are currently the biggest threat to this Mór Demon, given that you're standing on it.
I get advantage on dex saves against effects that I can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated, which I forgot about before.
Well, I feel like I was going to do this for theatrical flavor, but it feels unfair now, in that one of the stalks from behind, so if you're staring down into his big eye, it's like a stalk from behind, like a scorpion's tail, was coming up to attack you. However, I don't think you are incapacitated, and I don't think you are unaware that attacks could be coming from any angle. So feel free to roll with advantage. Even though I hate you for it.
Well, it can be a surprise as long as I don't have the status blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Yeah, you're not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Yeah, you know those.
Cool. So that is 14.
Delightful. Coming up from behind you, this magical floating eye appears, and it's so close as if perhaps it could never miss. Let me just gather my dice. There's no effect to this. It is just searing pain, as if something is trying to remove you, not steal your life, but just remove you from this world and remove you from being a problem.
That's cool.
As you take an incredible amount.
I think this is disintegration.
No, Ben wouldn't disintegrate me.
Disintegrate. Yeah, but which one of Arlington is he going to disintegrate?
Oh shit, okay. So is this like removing a personality? Not my personalities, I spent so long collecting them. Gotta fracture them all,
Find
guys.
bunch
Gotta
of
fracture
people.
them all.
You try to dig your hands and heels into this creature not to be knocked forward by the sheer force of this damage. It is force damage, as you take 42 points of force damage.
Is that accounting for the rage, which should have it?
Do you have force damage?
It's everything except for psychic damage because of my bear.
Oh, you're one of those barbarians.
This is the first time it's actually saved my ass as well.
21 points of force damage.
Big damage.
As part of your Huck's Punk's cloak and items just turn to dust and sprinkle through the air.
My cloak turns to dust?
How dare you?
No, just parts of it. Like a moth got at it. Or like a more epic way to describe, like a moth got at it.
Okay.
Mothra got at it.
Cool. So I'm like, arms crossed over, like, again, I think Arlington in his head is being like, "No, fell beast, I won't fall to your powerful machinations and evil ways," but it's just snarling and light no good.
I'd love if this was a graphic novel, there'd be multiple speech bubbles, and which the reader gets the opportunity to almost read the one underneath the absolute venom nonsense
Eventually
that's
someone
happening.
like comprehend
Um,
languages or something. It's like, what an eloquent individual you travel with. It's like this fucking knuckle dragging idiot.
Oh, you speak the ancient tongue. No one spoke this ancient magic language for generations and
Reciting Ulysses,
eons.
I thought, but there's so much drool involved.
There is. I not to brag, but I recently finished Finnegan's Wake, and boy, do I feel like I did not read a book.
You do it solely so you could bring it up.
I
You
mean,
can read it.
why does
Oh,
anyone read
absolutely,
books?
yeah. The Mór Demon begins to rise up into the air. It goes 10, 20 feet. Nope, that's where its monster stops. 20 feet over speed. It's not big. And a whiff of wind begins to form around it, and you see from the walls around you these shapes begin to close in. More specifically, you see a very recognizable person rise up from the ground. Huck, reanimated, is now in front of you, and with slack jaw, one of the ears has rigor mortis, one of it has just like it's adorable in the fan art, and turns and begins to, as if the very body remembers how to cast magic, look towards you and you Randir, and with a cone-like shape of its hands begins to cast. However, Huck, you hear the sound of lapping waves. And you feel on your hairy hair toes the feeling of pebbles. And amongst those waves, you hear the sound of galloping horses. It's like as the feet land, you can also hear the crashing of the waves. And you look out across this sort of grey, misty, quiet sea as a rider approaches across the ocean itself. They seem tall. They seem well built. They have incredible posture, like someone who's been like not working from home for 18 months or whatever. Their posture is impeccable. And as they pull back their dark navy hood, you see that they have quite calm-looking bugbear features. They step off of this horse, and they turn to you and go, "Ah, Huck."
Hiya. Are you Arlington?
No. My name is
classic
Lou.
racism. We don't. I've got tusks and smells.
I'm
be
dead.
honest,
You're not here.
Disrespectful. I mean,
No, this.
You're not here.
Oh, we got our first "You're Not Here" campaign. Nice.
Yeah.
No, is Arlington a friend of yours?
Aye, well, he's the only bugbear I've ever seen doing anything like riding a horse or talking. But that said, I haven't seen any other bugbears.
Well, that would explain it. My name is Lou. Lou Lavada. Lou of the Long Arm. On account of,
Ah, yeah,
Right.
he's got pretty long arms too.
Mm.
Hiya, how are you, Lou? I heard of you.
You have.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah. Sure,
Nice.
bandy's about, You're one of them. Deity or some sort?
Oh, no. I actually was going to apologize. You're probably expecting a god. No, I'm a former champion of the god.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, champion.
Yeah. Funny enough, like Arlington. Which is why Mananan would usually be here to kind of, nature is his bag, and dying is a natural part of life, and usually he'd help you across the sea to get you to the other world. But he's a little bit busy trying to keep his champions alive. So I hope you don't mind that he sent me.
No. I mean, yeah. I presume the champions are my mates, or if there's other champions, I guess that's good to keep them alive. But where are you bringing me? I mean, it's a nice watery place, but I need to get back. There's kind of a fight.
Well, this is it. So you might know more. Do you know anything about this? I meant to bring you to the other world, and
Yeah, but that's where I just left from.
right. Okay.
I see. I can't. Well, in a way, I want to go back, but in another way, I don't think you're bringing me back to the same place.
I probably haven't, to be honest. I'm bringing it to You said there was a battle.
Oh, yeah, we're killing the Mór Demon. He's off in the corner of the other world. It's just off to the side.
Why?
Why is he there? I don't know. You'd have to ask him yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
He's killing people and stealing their souls, I reckon.
stealing souls. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a real piece of work.
The gods haven't stepped in or done. That's
I don't know. You're the first even close to God that I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
But you've met Arlington. He's probably...
Yeah, he's not really a god. He's more of a...
First of all.
Good friend. Dog? A giant dog?
Does God think of Arlington as their pet?
Their mascot.
He's just a human variant in a bugbear mascot suit.
Oh, yeah, he's the back of the group.
And everyone loves
That's
Chewbacca.
true.
He's
But he never gets his
Yeah,
medal.
exactly. No one respects Chewbacca.
Well, Huck does. He's the Han Solo of the group.
He's absolutely the handsome.
Listen here, princess. Do you want to play jacks?
yeah. It's all that devilish charm he's got going on. He's such a rogue, you know.
Learning a lot about how Huck sees the world this session.
Huck's already a couple of beers in, and virtually every beer he bought is 8% or above. So,
How strong are these
Huh.
beers? Well, they talk about my D&D character in the third person, so there's that. Huck's enjoying these beers.
I am dead. No. So what's going on? Sure.
Yes.
You want
so
to bring me somewhere?
I'm meant to take you to the other world, but the thing is, and I'm hoping you might be able to help. You're incomplete.
How dare you? I'm the best.
No,
I mean, look, there's stuff I haven't done. I wasn't expecting to, I thought he missed, to be honest. I reckon this is a mistake. Incomplete. Yeah, there's a bit of me. I put it, you're not going to go into the other world just willy-nilly. There's a bit of me in an old teapot.
an old teapot.
The god of death.
You've been talking to the Morgan.
Yeah, she has a bit of me.
Right, right. Huh. Well, that's between the two of them, I suppose. I'm not going to get involved. I'm just champion, not a god, just me helping out. So the thing about you being incomplete is it's not natural. And when unnatural things happen, well, you could kind of accidentally rip apart the fabrics of reality. So
I've been doing that my whole life.
Well, that's also a problem, but not my problem, to be honest.
Sure, reality is a very soft fabric anyway. It rips you just so much as look at it, let me tell you.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't want to, talk ill of them. They were still in their realm, and they've been very kind to me, making me a champion and all that. So, yeah, it rips. The gods would like it if you didn't rip it, though.
They're the ones who brought me here. They shouldn't. I mean, if they didn't want any ripping going on in their place, then
Did they bring you here?
Well, I was there, and now I'm not. So.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not gonna.
There's a lot of things that could have happened that they could have done, and I wouldn't be here ripping up their gaff. Is that what I'm doing? Should I be ripping up their gaff? Is this a good plan?
No, please. If anything, stop anyone else ripping it up as well. Usually when unnatural things happen, like say, I don't know, I haven't been down in a while. God forbid, day turned to night or something. That would be very unnatural.
You're lucky there. That hasn't happened. There's just no night.
There's no night. Wow.
The night's gone. The day hasn't turned into.
Understanding of the rules.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty unnatural too. Night tends to follow day.
But as far as I know, that'll still happen. It's just been a really long day.
You're telling me. So the thing is, I can't bring you with me. But good, I feel bad.
That sounds bad for me, to be honest. Going where you're going.
It's actually great.
Does anyone play jacks?
We do nothing but play games.
Now. All right. I mean, how much do I really need to go back to the other world and fight some kind of horrible creature?
You don't. It's kind of up to you. But the thing is, I can't bring you with me because you've unfinished business there. But also, I can't send you back because I'm not a god, and I also don't think they would. They don't want to do anything unnatural either. The point is, until your business is finished there or here, we're kind of stuck on the beach, and I can't. It wouldn't be honorable of me to just leave you here.
So I've got a friend for eternity.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Do you play games?
I mean, I can't believe you asked. This must be heaven, or whatever we call it, Tiernanog. Because I've been trying to get everyone to play games. You'd believe that no one's ever heard of the word games or jacks.
Well, I don't think I played Phil. Jacks. What's jacks?
Yeah, well, you said it's all you played.
Games. Oh, we play our games.
Yeah. It sounded like jacks to me, but I might have been mishearing. It's well, I suppose you need bones. Do you have any knuckle bones?
Not
in
stones.
Yes, stones will do, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Sure. Let's have at it. Let's have a go. I haven't played. Right. I could do this the rest of my life.
Do you remember how to play jacks in
real life or in this game?
No,
in this game. We just roll off D20s.
A loaded D6s.
A load of D6s. I can do that.
Yes. So for anyone who's never seen us play jacks before, you get 66s.
66.
They are your ante or bet or currency or whatever you want to call it. You can decide how many of those D6s you want to roll, and the combined total number on those dice is the DC you have to beat with a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I see.
So I'm going to roll all 6.
Right. And the combined DC is what you have to beat with a sleight of hand check?
Yes.
And then I have to presumably get higher than you?
Exactly.
All right.
Oh, nice. 3 6s. Okay. 6, 6, 6, 6. That's 24, 26. So Lou got 26.
26. He's got to do a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
As an update, while dice are
he throws down his jacks.
Curious what Immolator tastes like. It's smoky bacon is what it tastes like.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very good.
Is it a Marzen?
It's Whiplash. Oh, Marzen as in the type of beer?
Yeah.
It's a double bock on the back.
Oh, a double bock.
I hate single box, to be honest.
Yeah. Triple box, I could take them or leave them.
It tastes like crisps. Carry on. Just as a dice interlude.
What did you get, Huck?
I didn't. I thought you were doing your thing. Sorry, I thought. I thought I was waiting to see if you succeeded. Yeah. Well, if you've gone 6, I've gone 6 too. 2 of them have my face on them.
This reminds me of Contact with Jodie Foster and David Morris talking on the beach at the end.
Oh
yes.
All I know is that shot where she runs down the hallway and opens the cabinet. That's all I know from that movie.
Really?
And it turns out there's 50 hours of static.
Yeah.
50 hours.
No one else will get that upset. What's Contact with Jodie Foster?
It's just no one's seen it. So I guess it is.
Oh, it's not a good film.
You take that back.
Sorry. Oh, what am I meant to do? I got a 5. I got one of my faces, which is
nice.
Pretty happy. It's the first time that's happened. So,
as you put your head down, as you're counting up your dice in your head,
24. 24.
So roll your sleight of hand check. Actually the same number, or 26, rather similar enough.
Okay. Sleight of hand.
So in Contact,
Lou throws down 26 different jacks, of which in one single swoop he's going to try pick up. Huck, you see his long bugbear arm sweep in front of you, and it looks like he's picked up all 26. What's happening on your side of the jacks table?
On my side of the jacks table.
You know what I've done wrong? I've put on some quite nice music, and I should have put on the most extreme battle music. That's the tonal switch.
It sounds like it's in, will he go into the light? Will he die?
Yeah.
I am so glad I didn't buy the light at the end of the tunnel beer. It was sold out. I couldn't buy it. I failed. I had to get what did I say? 24.
Yeah.
I rolled a 21.
That is so close.
I know.
Lou
Considering what sleight
Lobon,
of hand.
who notoriously in both Irish mythology and this game is incredible at every game. There's not a skill in which he isn't proficient, not a game in which he can't win. He is a master of everything. And he puts his hand out to you to reveal the 26 jacks that he has picked up, compared to your 21 jacks. And as he opens his bugbear palm, you see nothing there. Anything I rolled on the dice would have given him a plus 30, except for one number, of which I can do nothing about. And that is a natural one, which is what he got. As you beat Lou Lavada, the master of all games, at a game he has never played before, in fairness to him, but he's pretty quick learner.
Yeah, sure. I've been playing jacks my whole life, so it don't feel bad. It was a good go. You went for everything at the start. That's a difficult tactic, if you say so myself.
Another game?
Well, what else do I have to do? I guess. Why not? Let's go.
And as eternity stretches out in front of you, we cut back to the battle at hand.
It's fair.
Did
Zombie
Huck overstay
Huck.
his welcome in the eternal nothingness?
It's like,
It's like,
You take that back.
I won't keep you. Oh, it's all right. Okay.
if you
I
could
reckon if
finish
I
a
annoy them,
business-
I might annoy them into bringing me back to life. We might get a free revitalization.
Someone take him away. He cannot be like.
He's
Maybe some of the Welsh mythology could take him. Scottish. He doesn't have to belong to ours. Just
He's wrecking the plane.
He's insatiable with his jack play.
the Mór Demon tries to raise a horde of zombies around himself as a sense of protection, as the walls themselves close in around you as a party. These essentially zombies reborn take a step in towards you, and as you see the projection that was put in front of the townsfolk of Anagla walking ever so closer to the edge of the cliff, they all take a step forward too. But as they close in around you all, as the Mór Demon tries to rise up amongst this horde, some of them begin to stop. There is a significant number of these zombies fighting against their very muscles, which seems to be spasming and jittering and just jutting forwards, who in unison turn to you, Iggy. And they look at you, and their eyes narrow, and their heads cock, and you can see some of them sniffing the air, and they turn to the zombies around them, and you can see that some zombies now are holding back the horde, but the horde is still closing in around you. As the light begins to dim, because they're coming from absolutely everywhere, from the roof, from the sides, from the ground, as this cone of bodies and shapes begins to cut out all light, that is where we will take our little halftime break. To give you a picture to plan, if you're going to plan over the break, the Mór Demon is floating about 20 feet above, and then has all these zombies. Some of them, physics doesn't really work here. Some of them are just floating down as sort of spectral zombie shapes, closing in around you. They're at about 50 feet. And there's a little gap in the roof of this dome where the Mór Demon is trying to rise up through and essentially smother you in a horde. With that terrifying notion in mind, we will take our break. However, before we do, I should tell you, if you're watching along, if you like similarly epic moments at your game, but you want your dice to do the talking, why don't you head over to dakotairish.com, where you can use the promo code HUCKSPUNKS to get 10% off your first order. So if you don't know Dakota Irish, you probably do if you've been watching this show, but if you don't, they make incredible handcrafted dice trays, dice towers, vaults, and they have an amazing, ever-growing collection of what are some of the most beautiful and wonderful dice I've ever seen in my life. If you like to theme your dice to your character, you will find character dice on that site perfectly themed, not only just your class. I'm not saying like, oh, Rangers, let's make them kind of leafy. It's like to your specific personality trait that your character has, you will find those dice. I give you a Ben Clifford guarantee. So head over to gotoirish.com, use the promo code HUCKSPUNKS to get 10% off. I don't think there's anything else we need to say this half of the break, except for that we are going to take a little 15-minute soiree away from the battle, and we will be back. We will be back in 15 minutes. Stick with us as we see if Hucks Punks sans Huck are going to get out of this one alive. Sans Hucks. Les Hucks terrible.
You might want to be going to Dakota sooner, because I mean, if Huck's dead, the Huck's Punk code's going to stop being useful.
R.I.P. Huck would be a good one.
Bye now.
The Huck is dead. Long live the Huck.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of Homebrew. If you are watching this live, before we dive into the battle proper, if you could, because it helps us out and it helps support the show, there are loads of buttons. YouTube is full of buttons. It's mostly buttons. There are more buttons than there are videos on YouTube. Fun fact. But if you hit the one that looks like a thumbs up on this video, we would really like it. If you hit the one that says subscribe, that would be great too. If it already says subscribe, don't hit it. You'll accidentally unsubscribe. Don't hit that one. Leave that one alone. But yeah, that's it really helps the show. If you don't already follow us on social media, we are at Homebrew Quest. I have upped my shit posting, so I promise you good quality shit posting content. And boy, is February scheduled tweets incredible. If something seems bizarre, because like a world event happens and then this tweet comes out, it was scheduled. I didn't mean it. that's my one Googling manager fear. It's that like a joke about ducks, and we're like, oh, but Ben, did you not see all ducks died yesterday? I'm like, I didn't, because this was scheduled. We've run out of ducks. We've no more ducks to give. Speaking of no more ducks to give, let's dive into part 2 of this show. The Mór Demon rises up. His zombie horde closes in around you. Unfortunately for you, Huck's Bucks, that is not his action, which he's going to take now, as 3 of his spectral glowing lich-like eyes point towards you. Arlington, Iggy, and Randir. Let's do one apiece. Arlington.
I'm cowering.
Delightfully cowering. I'll make yours the gold one, and Randir, you can be the sparkly one.
Yes.
You won't like that. Roll your d20s. I'll tell you what you need to add. As these 3 spectral eyes are floating around the skull as it rises up, not necessarily on a platform, out of this horde. For Arlington, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. So it is with advantage, given that you are not surprised that this is coming.
Danger sense. Go, danger sense.
For Randir, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. And Iggy, I need you to make... Oh, I reroll doubles. Another double. There we go. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As these 3 rays ping across like a cool club in the 90s. There are laser beams firing across this battlefield. Did anyone get below a 17?
Yes. I got 7. With
Ooh,
advantage.
oof. Iggy, you're shaking your head. You got above a 17. You're good.
Yeah, I am in frantically kind of hot potatoing it, and I got a 17 on the dot, so I don't know how that's doing.
That's all you need. You feel this pin of searing pain as you're cowering behind these trees. You take a step out as this horde is coming in around you, and you can see your good friend Huck stepping up in front of you, hunched and trying to cast a spell in your direction. And you look up the Mór Demon, and the Mór Demon, one of its stalks, looks down at you, and it fires a pin. You don't even see it. It's more just like hot air. There's a tiny little shimmering of magic around it. And it smacks you straight in the chin. You feel yourself get hit back. But something about this does not affect you. So you turn back and look at it dead in the eye, knowing at this moment in time, it is trying to flee. A demon like this, as successful as the battle seemed to be going for it, probably wouldn't pull in its horde and escape through a little chute in the pew, hit the eject button, out it goes. And filled with this power, you feel like the magic of the Mór Demon just did not take hold in that moment in time.
I think I probably let out, amidst the tears of the general madness, but as that happens, I imagine I just also burst a little laugh in his face when I realised what just happened, that instead of perishing,
it is infuriating, and you feel the Mór Demon. Sorry, I'm rolling dice for what's about to happen around here.
The microphone, that makes it really nice.
The microphone's over.
It's raining.
It sounded like it was suddenly raining really heavily in your room.
Yeah. It's the old field. It's raining again.
Oh, it's raining D6s. Oh.
It's raining D6s. Hallelujah. That's not. I'll save it for the
Ben
top.
is making a note to do that as an open bit.
Yeah, I genuinely was making a "It's raining men." I was like, what rhymes with men? It's raining. DMs. Hallelujah. It's raining DMs. Amen.
Yeah. Who wants to be a player? There's too many people that want to DM. That's the normal thing that happens, right? Yeah.
Well, It's Raining Men is about a lack of men, I think. So, what a world it would be if, like cats and dogs, it was raining DMs. Iggy, the Mór Demon rises up in front of you, and it turns and says, as it's getting out of here, as these rays are firing off, you can try stop me, but you cannot stop power. You cannot stop me harming people. The choice is yours. Let me go, or see your friends and everyone you love die with me. Rander, you didn't succeed your saving throw, am I correct?
You got an 11.
10, 20, 38, 42, 50, 55, 58, 65 points of necrotic damage.
65?
65.
Okay. Still alive.
Whoa! This is more than my
alive.
I'm half health.
Wow!
Chunky boy.
Nice.
Because I had 20 temporary hit points from when I drank Dying Light.
Of course, yes.
Actually,
Actually,
what you said there, was that implying that if he leaves all of these people undied? They don't, right? Like, they're already dead.
no,
Yeah.
but there are villagers walking towards a cliff, which
Oh,
he's
yeah,
controlling.
those ones. Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
They're already alive. Oh,
Your
yeah.
also-
dad, your stepbrother, you know,
Phones to
Connell.
cliffs there, am I right?
Huck's already died, so I mean,
So he doesn't
you
care
know,
about them
everyone that matters.
anymore. I died.
Everyone that matters has already died, so I don't know what he's threatening you with. You know,
That is very
all the best
Fae-like,
people are
actually,
already
in
dead.
fairness.
That is true.
That's a very interesting point, that you've just been hit with necrotic damage, and you had Dying Light Ale, which filled you with the power of death. I'm gonna think on that as a DM, because necrotic damage in you should have interesting stuff happen. There's something there and you feel like part of you being able to take in that is you almost absorb dying power.
this always happens to Randiers.
Yeah. And you always get necrotic damage seems to be his like.
Half our party in another game don't trust him at all. I say half. All of our party don't trust him at all.
You know
That's
what's
some necrotic stuff.
You know what's far better, given that there's infinite Randirs and infinite universes. Anytime one Randir gets necrotic damage, another Randir somewhere else dies. There's a random Randir dies instead.
I'll tell our DM to give him some.
Don't do that. That Randy hasn't died yet.
Oh no, we've lost Steampunk Randir. Arlington, you didn't succeed
Nice, I
either.
rolled a 7.
You feel your speed is
What was
halved.
the actual?
You
the
cannot
actual
take
stat?
actions. Dexterity. Did you roll with advantage? Did you do all that?
I'm just trying to word my way
Yeah.
out of it.
You have been slowed. You cannot take reactions,
That's my least
and you
favorite
can only
stat
take
to have.
actions. I know, but you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. As it rises up, it begins to shake furiously. Randir, as it sort of
Actually, wait, I'm
as
still-
a barrel
I'm still
rolls
standing
up,
on this thing, so I think he kicks me off, and then I'm.
except for gravity still works. So you're like,
No,
"Ooh!"
sorry, I've already hit the ground
Yeah.
and gone down, but I'm like. I like in my head, I look like Hans Gruber in Die Hard, but I'm actually lying flat on the ground.
As you take 2 bludgeoning damage
That's
from the
fair.
fall. Yeah, it's not a lot of damage.
You don't know how much damage I've taken, my friend.
I think you've taken 4.
No, more than that. There was the 20 from the thing that hit.
Oh yes, yeah, I
I
remember
forget
that.
which way it was.
That was good.
I'm not even going to apply my rage reduction to that because I think he doesn't know how to fall limp right now.
Top of the round, this zombie Huck tries to focus a spell at you, and nothing happens. It's almost as if the magic that is filled in Huck's body doesn't come from his physical form, but comes from his, something more ephemeral. And as he tries to capture your attention, you see that, God, because this is over 2 streams, I cannot repeat layer actions. It's a genuine rule. I am shackled by it as a DM. I have to use all 3 before I can go back to using another one, and I cannot remember if I used all 3. I think I did. Don't be that guy, Gax. Let me know if I didn't. I know the award is counterintuitive. Do be that guy, Gax. Yes. And he made a difficult terrain, and he also did a spectral eye at some point. I'm almost certain I've used all 3, which means
that sounds right.
I can now use another one. As another eye appears as he's leaving, trying to take out you, Iggy. You are the bane of his existence currently. I need you to make roll a d20, and I will let you know as this twisting, jittery, shackle-like ray heads towards you from one of his spectral eyes that are just, at this point, they are just swirling around him in one sort of spiral-like motion.
Okay, that one laugh is turning to just like giddy, or not giddy, terrified chatter of fear.
Nice. It's not a fear effect, thankfully, but what you need a Constitution saving throw is what I need from you.
That is 14.
You feel like as he is getting away, maybe it's the magic, maybe it's the situation, but you are paralyzed. You cannot do anything. You had him so close as your body freezes up. It is... And in Pokemon, status effects don't do shit, so... Unless they're... Yeah, that's true.
This sounds like... I don't know if this is the case, but this sounds like exactly what I have watched him do to people, like paralyze them and not so. This is my worst nightmare. And with 0 motion, I am quivering. I'm emotionally quivering.
Yeah, it's not being in control of your own body with a monster that literally takes over your mind is as terrifying as it sounds. Rander, he is 20 foot above you, with Arlington has just fallen off his back, or front, or side. He's a globe. I mean, I'm not sure where the poles are. Yes. What would you like to do?
Alright, so, yeah, I guess Rander's going to have a weird kind of, flashback moment kind of thing, because you've got, zombies coming around, breaking, or, removing the light. Mm-hmm. And also his friend has just died, so he's getting a whole flashback back to the cave-in that he was in, kind of thing. And he's just getting angry and angrier because he essentially at that point asks that to death that if anyone was going to die, that he should be the one.
Okay.
But
this is you also what happened right in front of me. I can't do anything about that. But he's just getting more and more angry, and I'm being blasted by the necro, the necrotic kind of damage thing. It's just flashing him back to this the second worst day of his life now, because Huck actually has died, kind of thing. So he's he's looking, because Huck also died right in front of him. So
and is now literally in front of you as a corpse, reanimated, staring at you with lifeless eyes.
Yeah, so he is absolutely pissed off. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use Flame Sphere. Use my 3rd level Flame Sphere. I'm gonna make it appear, because the Mór Demon is 20 feet above me. I'm gonna make it appear just above him, blocking off his escape. Kind of thing.
Sick son of a bitch, I love it.
Like, and it's. I'm also going to use my Rod of Absorption's spell slot, so I don't have to burn a spell slot.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Ben, can I boost the flame sphere? Make it better
Yeah, tell me how.
with a can. I have a can here
The can.
called called Comet on Fire,
Ooh.
Nice.
Boom.
and
Yes.
I was kind of hoping to use it at some point in time like this. But I mean, he's literally, it couldn't be more Comet on Fire. Yeah.
It's like we really stretch our imaginations to get some of the cans to work in this game. That no
Old field?
imagination. The old field.
Yeah. So that means it's another 8%. I am almost done this, so I'll open
Oh,
this one.
you
It's
got
another
it?
8%. So I have to. I've used it.
Remind me how Flame Spear works. Are you making a damage or am I making a saving throw?
So so right now it's actually just blocking off his attack. It's about a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must take a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 3d6 damage. So I guess I'll try to do it 5 feet away from him, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. In fact, you'd probably want to put it.
Right beside.
I was going to put him in the
One
center.
Yeah, put him
like-
inside it.
Yeah.
I would give you a piece of advice, given that he has to end his turn there. You probably want to put it 25 feet away from him
Yeah. I was
in the
gonna say,
direction. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that there because
However-
it's a 5-foot thing. So
Given that Keelan has used Comet on Fire, I will say that it starts within 5 feet of him and blasts the 20 feet above, like a comet on fire, doing some residual fire damage to him as it takes off into the sky. I will say that's a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. He got a 9 plus, I think he only has like he's not fast, that's his one thing, plus 2, 11. He fails. So I would say you can roll an initial bout of damage, whatever it was, 2d8s or
so it's
whatever
2d,
it is.
it's 3d6. So I roll that.
Please do, as this ball of fire illuminates this closing dome of zombies, and you can now suddenly see the wriggling, swirling sort of horde of people. You're catching kind of eyes and mouths and teeth, and they're not zombies in the typical like hanging off flesh zombies. They're more like spectral, incorporeal forms of people. Not quite physical like a skeleton, not quite rotting and decaying like a zombie, but there as a undead creature. More like in D&D, zombie hordes don't really exist, like a mass of bodies as a monster. But consider it a mass of bodies.
Literal seas of zombies.
Exactly. And you can see now as this ball of flame illuminates your slowly closing in sphere of existence.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
What was the damage, Randy?
So I got an 11 damage. So 11 fire damage.
I mean, because I rewatched the last one to do the recap and everything else like that. We had definitely done like over 100 damage, and then you guys have done some damage. I mean, it's got to be at like 120, 130 damage it's taken at this stage.
Yeah, then when it thought it was 21 or something,
I mean, he's
he
trying to
panicked
get out
and
of here.
made
He's
it.
definitely not comfortable. We've at least made him uncomfortable.
This flaming sphere burns off the last remaining flesh on the Death Tyrant's skull. He is now just all skull and spectral eyes. As he goes, I'll get you, E-Man.
Knew it was going to be Skeletor.
It always is.
Did we just help him get out of his fucking cocoon as he was turning into an undead butterfly?
The shackles of flesh have only held me back.
This is where Skeletor gets a basically human body afterwards. At first he was a giant floating skeleton head.
It's a giant head, a huge ego. He is looking rough, not necessarily bloodied, but bad. Oh man, if Huck was here, he could take him out in one shot. But you chuckle fucks, best of luck. A couple of rounds left.
I'm going to use my bonus action to also try to do healing word on Ardington, I guess.
Nice.
Just to give some extra try boost. It's not going to be much, but at least it'll help.
I love it. Feel free to roll that, add it, message it. I'll move on, if you don't mind, to Arlington's turn as this happens. But before Arlington's turn, this Mór Demon is going to take potentially one of its last legendary actions. Again.
Hey Wes, use conventional tactics. I figured it out. Conventional tactics definitely bar out being able to use a legendary action.
See, well, it makes sense.
Legendary's got to be
It
unconventional.
makes sense that you're reminding me to make my beer help us in this fight. It also just sounds like, hey, play the fucking game properly.
Yeah.
Why don't you
use
why
some
don't you try
conventional
using good
tactics, you idiot?
Oh yeah.
Aim for the head.
Just saying. if ever your boring can could have some use, it's stopping a legendary action.
I'm in a wild, frenzied rage. I don't think there's going to be anything conventional.
No, I mean force him to
Oh,
use
yeah,
conventional
okay.
tactics, as in not non-legendary.
Okay, that's an
what I'm
interesting
saying.
idea. Yeah. No leggies. Stop shooting.
Before I go any further, are you forcing him to use conventional tactics?
If I can.
Yeah. That's what I came in.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think. How does that work then? I think I'm still slowed, right?
You have to down the whole beer.
You are still slowed, and you can't take reactions. Oh, beer and mechanics. This is a difficult one for me as a DM.
If it's not my turn, I don't think I can.
Yeah, and because we not necessarily that the beers are a reaction, but they're a funny little.
I'd try and work my way through it, but I had forgotten until this very moment that I'm also paralyzed from the last episode. I had completely forgotten that.
No, he
No, you're fine. He
unparalyzed you so that you could move because he had charmed you.
Yeah, okay.
So he actually gave you a boost.
Right, okay.
Actually, I was the one who unparalyzed you, wasn't it?
No.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, no, was it not
I used my lesser reputation
Yeah,
on
so
him.
we did lesser
You
representation.
might have, but
All of
the Mór Demon gave him a boost of like a +4 onto his roll or something to help him.
No, I think that was me giving him a +4. Anyway, it's not my turn.
I will have. It's in last episode.
Funny we
Yeah,
recorded all of these.
Right now, no one cares. At least me.
Splitting hairs is what people come to podcasts for.
I am aware. It's the. Are you stopping his conventional? Are you stopping his unconventional tactics?
Slow down. I'm quick enough to react.
In which case,
I could use sudden change.
you can if you want. He's aiming at Iggy.
He's aiming at Iggy. No, I won't know. I don't. I was going to use sudden change to force the conventional thing, but I'm also dead. So it's sudden change so that he can use conventional tactics, barring out a legendary action. Legendary actions being what killed me.
Sure.
Let's lean into these cans because I got nothing else to do. And this is incredibly strong. This comet on fire.
Arlington, I want you to make a D100 roll.
Okay.
This is
And if you get below
Keelan, you gotta lash into it now.
33.3333, you have a 1 in 3 chance. Yeah.
Sudden change is only 6%.
Oh, no. That's 26.
But you got it.
Was
Yeah, you got
me
below
to get it?
33.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
just presume good odds.
1 in 3 is they're
1 and 3 is not bad.
2 and 3 is
Yeah.
better.
This eye looks towards you, Iggy, and you feel like the same disintegration magic begin to twirl within it. The Mór Demon looks at you and says, "No, actually, it's better if your friends die and you have to watch it." And the eye moves over to Randir, and just as it begins to fire, it just doesn't. That move, he misaligns the ray, and it shoots off, hitting the ground harmlessly, thanks to conventional tactics and a sudden change.
Oh my god, amazing. Yeah, good idea. I couldn't imagine how that was going to be helpful.
Arling,
Yeah.
Honestly, the main way I thought conventional tactics was going to be useful, I was like, oh, I mean, if Arlington dies, I'm gonna make a samurai lady instead. That's
Yeah,
it's gonna be my new
your
character.
new character.
Uh,
Because that's on the can for any podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Otherwise, does not make sense.
yeah, I realized that it wouldn't even be a case of like, oh, I wish I could see what he's holding up. It's like, yeah, what I'd said was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
It is your turn, Arlington, as this disintegration ray narrowly misses both of your friends because it was aiming at one and then tried to change to the other, and time waited for no man.
Cool. How far away is big bulbous eye boy from me?
20 feet.
Why, that's exactly half my movement.
That is exactly. Is that how much you can jump?
Well, I think that's how much I can move with slow. Yeah, my speed is halved. I've -2 to AC. All kinds of other shit. It's bad news. It's basically
Yeah, but
the
he's-
anti-barbarian status.
He's 20 feet up, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Oh right, yeah, 20 feet up. I can probably jump that high. No, shit, I can't even take multiple actions or attacks anyway. So I can't even attack more than once per action with slow. Okay.
But you've got your card, right? Oh.
Sorry?
A blow dart.
That's exactly what I'm going to go for. I'm just trying to think of...
Oh my god, if this
Which I had
kills
thought,
him.
like, why would you need that?
Okay.
Be great if it would kill him. Push him into the comet on fire.
I have an idea. I would like to invoke... This is the most cans we've ever invoked in this show. I'm going to
That is
invoke-
true.
This is the only person we've needed
Yeah.
that many cans
Run
for.
overdrive. So, with the slow effect, I cannot attack more than once per action. I don't get a bonus attack. So I'm going to use one attack, but I want to go overdrive on my blow dart, and I want to throw 2 darts into my mouth, and in one attack kind of throw them out in one, if that's not being too cheeky.
Look, I reward cheekiness. I'm a cheeky chappy. What was the name of that can specifically?
Run overdrive.
Run overdrive. Okay. Sorry, in my head I heard slow overdrive, and I'm like, that is so good because if
No,
you
I
could just
wish.
overdrive, you're slow. Run
Because
overdrive.
if he wasn't vertically above me, I would say try and get a little bit extra movement out of it. But if it, it's jumping, not running.
I will give you one better if you'll let me.
I mean that.
Run overdrive. Run overdrive brings, in my mind, a run, like your movement speed, in overdrive. So I would give you a running jump if you wanted to run overdrive at it.
Okay. Yes,
Because
I
it seems to
will do that.
apply more specifically to his to your ability to move fast.
Yeah. Okay, that's much better. So then I think as he's turning, kind of getting away, Arlington gets up and starts running. Dun, 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 running really slowly, chariots of fire
So you
style.
got
But there's
Comet
like
on
slobber
fire.
flying out of his lips. He looks like a dog with his head stuck out the window, and you can see like the sinew in his legs is like taut, and he's like straining as hard as he can, but it looks like maybe he's straining muscle from just moving slowly. And he like leaps, and then for some reason in the air he's still kind of slow.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use my action. I don't know how grappling's going to work on a lad this big. I want to try and grapple him. Oh wait, hang on. I think there's something to do with bugbears being able to grapple someone bigger. Bugbear, grapple. I think I can grapple someone. What size is this guy?
I will tell you now. He is large, undead, lawful, evil.
Lawful.
To know he's a
Lawful.
code.
Actually, this guy, the Mór Demon, isn't lawful evil.
yeah, I was gonna
just,
say
like,
he's not
he's-
lawful.
quite unlawfully evil.
I think I can grapple something one size bigger than me, but I might be making that up.
Let's say you can. I think you can.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to kind of grapple this guy, and I figure I won't be able to like pull him down to the ground, but I want to like hinder his movement and try and like start like struggling and trying to restrain his eyes if I can, so I can maybe potentially give him disadvantage on eye beams and just kind of fuck with him. Basically, yeah, I want to go full on like Remy from Ratatouille, except the bad kind. So I'm just like pulling his eye stalks around.
Bad Remy from
Bad
Bad
Remy,
Ratatouille.
yeah.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So we're gonna make opposing grapple checks.
Okay. That's hopefully good.
I potentially have a can that could help.
That's athletics.
You've helped enough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm-
I think it's too much. Plus, it probably wouldn't
On
help.
my frenzied rage, I
Yeah.
get advantage on these as well.
Cool.
Yes.
Amazing roll. So that is 21 altogether.
Nice.
So I'm like,
If
scrabbling.
this-
Give me one.
And in that scrabbling, you managed to grab, like, I don't know if you've ever seen a skull before. Have you seen a skull?
Me or
Has
Arlington?
everyone listening, everyone watching seen a skull? Everyone, anyone, Arlington definitely has.
That's
He
literally
drinks
what
out
I
of
was
them.
Paul's holding one on camera.
In chat, we've all seen skulls. Now, follow-up question. We've all seen climbing walls, haven't we?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they're quite skull-like in their hook holes and their like protruding
I would
parts.
love to see the first time you go to a climbing wall and be like, oh, like skulls.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
said
it's
it was
like
a wall of skulls,
climbing
I
a
would've known
mound
what
of
you were talking
skulls.
about.
This is just like an
climbed
ice.
piles of
Yeah.
skulls.
Feels just like a jawbone.
Yeah. Cheekbone here. Ooh,
Don't let
memories.
that in there no more.
Making my way over to the back hole, the old chappy, the old Muppet hole of an eyeball. What I mean to say is that he got a 20, so your roll beats him, and you grapple this Mór Demon. What is your weight?
I actually have that in here somewhere. John, I might have to go to my old school character sheet because I don't think I actually put it in D&D Beyond. So give me just a mere few seconds. There we go. I found it here.
And don't forget for the big fight, you actually you were cutting weight for the big fight just to make sure you made the way in. So.
You are
It turns out a lot of his weight was that axe. So
Arlington is
It's a very heavy axe.
120 kilograms.
120 kilograms.
Strangely
That's
light for a
probably
bugbear. He
very
was
heavy.
the runt of his marauding party.
However, you have been adventuring since, so I'd say you've probably put on a couple. Especially lifting around that heavy axe. Oh, you can barely hold
It's
on to the
generous of
thing.
you
It
to
just
say it's muscle and
plummets wherever you...
Yeah, I'd say let's add.
But I think you've stopped this... not only have you stopped this Mór Demon's movement, I am going to take 5 feet away from its movement. It mightn't seem like much. It's 25% of its movement.
I mean, I'll take it. I've also just realised that actually all those
Anything
movements
else?
are actually slow. So Ireland is like, he looks like he's piloting like a JCB or something, like pulling the levers around.
Like a kid trying to stop their parent coming from work. Yeah, I get it. It's adorable.
I mean, I was picturing 2 different joysticks, but I like that much better.
I was gonna say what else can you do, but probably not a lot given that you're slow.
I've no
But you
bonus
can make a
action,
saving throw at
to
the end of your
use.
turn.
I think I might have used my action surge, but there's not really much more I want to do anyway.
Make a saving throw. Don't tell me the result yet. Just keep it in mind for the next time your turn comes around.
Dex
So I know if you've saved on slow. It is.
Advantage on this as well because it's a resave.
What?
No, 'cause I get dexterity against effects. And you can see. Oh, I can see. I suppose like he's not hitting me with the beam again. Never mind.
Yeah. No, it's like I think that's like dodging out of the way. This is more like
So you don't want me to tell you yet, no?
no. You know if you're slowed or not. That's fine. Arlington, at the end of your turn, one of these spectral eyes appears right beside you and is boring into you. It's doing that game that sometimes new couples do on first dates, like where you stare in each other's eyes and ask each other very deep and meaningful questions.
How are you married?
And I need you. I don't know.
It's because he won the game.
That's fair. Actually. Yeah, she couldn't keep up with him.
First one to blink has to marry the other one. There's no way I can lose. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good at those, but historically I failed them. It's a 9. Oh no, I have advantage because I'm raging.
Ugh.
Not
Better.
much. 11. I always do so
Listen.
badly on those, and it's like they come up so rarely. You should think I should be good at them.
Yeah, especially Constitution. Yeah, you're a big
Yeah,
lad.
you should be good at Constitution.
The eye begins to swirl and almost drill forward towards you as this pin of purple dark energy. It's not even fast. It just takes its time boring into you as you take 38 points of necrotic damage, halved because of your fucking abilities, to whatever 15 plus 4. Yeah. And if anyone noticed the 15 plus 4, yes, that's how I do maths. I half the big number and then half the small number and add them together.
I mean, like, I don't even feel the least bit bad about this, because every time we've had a fight with someone, I either haven't been raging or it's been like just regular attacks. So the reason I chose the bear barbarian or the bear barbarian is because like rage saves you damage from everything. But we haven't. The only non-physical damage we've had was Huck throwing a fireball at me. Okay. As soon as that is it like does the beam go through me, or how does it? What actually happens when it hits me?
It hits you and it begins to spread like dark ichor around your body and then seep into your fur, willing you to just die. And he says, he's just like, please, will you all just die?
Vomit into the eye. With my 11 con save, that makes me feel so nauseous. I just throw up straight into the eye. And it's like, I try and wipe the vomit away, but it just mats it into my fur even further.
Lovely.
That's good. That kind of gives him false hope. Like he's disgusted, but also like maybe that means he's dying.
Maybe this is a tactic.
Yeah.
On the plus side, if Kevin James is watching, he probably finds that hilarious. He loves an old puke gag.
How dare! That's the harshest put down I've ever been given. Great job, Paul.
Oh no shade on you. Sorry, actually, it was more. I was trying to make fun of Kevin James, not you, but I realized
that was so bad.
the byproduct
related to Kevin James make fun of him. Fuck you, my turn. I yield my time. My turn is over.
We all think of Wes as the Kevin James.
This
of
is
the group,
bullshit.
Right? I've always.
He's the Rob
And
Snyder
the
of the
Chris
group.
Farley,
What are you
right?
talking about?
Well, you haven't got long.
No.
We usually do a content and trigger warning about how dark this show can get, but actually the Chris Farley, close to the bone, Keelan. That one actually. Trigger warning, Chris Farley.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Trigger
Iggy.
warnings. SNL
Sorry.
classics.
He's a beloved man. You know, you can't be mentioning the horrible.
Yeah. Don't be coming at me with your facts. Iggy, your friends have blocked off the escape route for the Mór Demon, leaped up into the sky and started pulling it down. And for dramatic reasons, fuck it, I'm the DM, I can do whatever I want. Arlington pulls the Mór Demon all the way back down to the ground until you are eye to eyes staring at it, and it is your turn.
Okay. I've never been paralyzed before, so what does this entail? What can I do? I have to just roll something? What?
You can do nothing until the end of your turn. And so for 6 excruciating seconds, you stare into the empty eye socket of this death tyrant, this face that has haunted your dreams. It is almost like it burns into your vision like a Rorschach test of whites and darkness, the darkness of the zombies behind it and the white gleaming skull of its form. And at the end of your turn, I want you to... You know what? Just before we do that, roll me a charisma saving throw.
She's unreal at those.
What I'm thinking of when that's
It's really
happening is it's so surreal as these, that I'm lying, that these 6 seconds pass and I can't see anything else. And now I'm thinking, wait, am I actually just back in one of those nightmares? And almost that would be better because maybe I'm going to wake up and we can go back. But then probably, it moves. I hear Arlington to the side and realize, no, this is really it. He's, really going to murder you. My charisma saving throw was 21.
This eye begins to glow as if it's filling full of power. You know from its actions earlier, it was going to leave you alive. Because what better punishment than the woman he has haunted and slowly taken away loved ones from than to watch her new friends die? But a part of you remembers those dreams. They are nightmares. Nightmares in which you do feel like you have no control over the demon that haunts it. And you live in a world of control. You are controlled by your feelings towards, whether you want to admit it or not, your feelings towards your mother and your father and your responsibility to this town and your hatred of this demon. There are things that have directed your life which have been nothing you would have wished on yourself, but have just been forcing you forward. And the one time in your life in which you have full control is when you create. When you paint, you are in control of what goes where. And you haven't felt that in a long, long time, ever since the ritual was cast on you. And a part of you that makes you you, was taken away from you. Your sense of imagination and creation. With that wisdom saving throw, that charisma saving throw, you realize that creation is like a font of water. You can stop a well, but there are other wells to draw from. And you feel that pulling into you, that sense of, I am paralyzed in this reality, but I shape my own. And you feel like, much like a dream in which you realize you are dreaming, there is a lucid power that comes from when you can create. You are the daughter of an archfey, a being of pure chaotic creation. You remember when you were a kid, asking, you know what? Let's jump to that moment, because this isn't in my notes, so this is pure. I was just like, oh, this is fun. Let's go then. Let's follow this impulse. You're with your dad, Bacchus, in your kitchen, and he is looking very embarrassed. Oh, where do babies come from? Okay, right.
I thought he was asking her.
No. Iggy, where did you come from? Well, Iggy, it's an interesting question, because most babies happen when it's important where you came from. Your mother and I wanted you very, very much. We thought everything that makes me good and makes me, in your mother's words, a little bit fragile and a little bit, whimsical and a little bit, I live in the moment as much as she does, but I don't have as many moments as she might. And everything that makes me that, and everything that makes her love of life, her spirit, her sense of justice in against what should be versus what can be. She had an incredible imagination, but you didn't come about in an expected way. We just wanted you, and the next day we had you. You were born of creation, of imagination, of just sheer will on the world. And you were born of love. And I see you now, and this town is sort of grown up around you. Iggy, I don't know if you know that there wasn't a school before you wanted to go to school. And you wanted to go to school, and the town had a school. There wasn't a place to draw and reflect until you wanted a place to draw and reflect. And just up from our house where that tree is, you made that. And the looks that the town give you, they're not scared of you. They are wary. But you have the power to create anything unlike I have ever seen before. You have the power to, well, look, anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. And as we pull back to the fight, you realize that in this moment in time, he wasn't being metaphorical in the way that parents sometimes can be. Like, go get it, achieve your dreams, whatever. He was being literal. If you imagine something, there's a chance it will happen. And the Mór Demon has been preying on this. So you cannot exist without each other. You, in your dreams, were being manipulated to imagine a creature that could have a hold on people, that could bring them down. To imagine if there was a physical manifestation of why people are sad and why people are down, and an explanation beyond life that would make a little bit more sense to a child. But you in this moment have full control over what this Mór Demon does. You didn't create it. The Mór Demon did exist. You didn't bring this into existence. But he was, as much as he was manipulating people, he was manipulating you too. This raw power that you have to just imagine things into the world. What this means as a player is there is, to a certain extent, an extra blank space on your character sheet. It doesn't matter if a spell doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if a move doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if there's something in a book that says you can and can't do something. If Iggy wants to try and make something happen, Iggy can try and make something happen. Now, dice will be involved and mechanics will be involved and all that kind of stuff, but you are the child of an archfey, a being of pure creation and chaos, and you have tapped into it for the first time in front of this monster. You're only paralyzed because you think you should be. And the moment you realize you don't have to be, you can move.
All right.
It is your turn.
Everything
Stephen King shit is this?
She's a freak. Kill her.
never a true word. As this is happening, Iggy is suddenly just buzzing, and what felt like was being paralyzed becomes this incredible buzzing of power and feeling like she's never felt more powerful and more in control, and that actually she wasn't paralyzed. She was holding herself strong, and in that moment, and trying to focus every ounce of energy, and so she wants to. What she wants to create in this moment is just pain and suffering on this demon, to end it, to end whatever, to freeze what is causing those people to walk to the cliff. Whether that is making a sword from her drawings and stabbing it at his eye, or a sort of thunder wave right in its face. But yeah, if the demon is this close, and I want to just try and crush it in any way I can.
A sword materializes in your hand.
I have that. I actually have that spell. That's what I should do.
No, that's okay. It's all there. You don't have to. Sometimes when you're creating, if you're making music, you've played that riff before. It's somewhere in your subconscious. You're pulling spells literally from what you have prepared, unknowns to you.
I actually might not have used Shadow Blade before, so this could also be like creating it. I'm not sure if I have used it, so it could be that.
A blade of pure shadow, a blade that represents all the pain and depression and horrendous things that this demon has done to the people of your town forms. It is manifest of everything this monster represents. You've seen it use a death ray. A death ray is 10d10 damage. Because you've seen it, you know how to manifest it. I will regret this on future streams. This is just for narrative purposes. But you've witnessed this, so therefore you can create it. I want you to roll 10d10 dice. If you don't have it on your D&D Beyond, Google can do this too. You can just type into Google 10d10 and it will work.
On D&D Beyond, you can just keep clicking it.
Based
And will it add them all up?
That's what I did for the
I don't know.
D6s before.
Ah.
I thought I was that good at
based on her
mathematics.
description. Based on Lucy's description, I do have a can that helps. I know I've used a lot of cans.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Given what she's trying to go for, the can bitter end might be.
Ooh, nice.
She's trying to give it that. I thought it was going to be a self-reflective, sad thing for Huck, but it's glad to be glad to be able to use it in this respect. So there you go.
I see. Oh, okay. I did 11, so I need to delete one.
No, it's a bitter end. Keep that one in there. We go one more. This spell goes all the way up to 11.
Yeah. Does anyone have that on a can?
What have you got?
Okay.
Oh, they're all
That's very
rolling about.
satisfying.
We're all
Yeah.
over the place.
Everyone
That's
check your
incredibly
D&D
satisfying.
Beyond.
That's if I delete a one. I don't know.
No, you don't have to. I saw that.
65.
Is that good? Like, did
65
did all
points
the D10s
of-
have high or low numbers there? Did it seem good or bad?
There's two 8s, a 9, a 7.
Okay, yeah, that's
Oh,
pretty good. Okay,
if I clicked it, it disappeared.
How many did you roll?
10 or 11.
11.
11.
Yeah. Yeah.
11, so 110, 67. She's over. She's
Yeah,
above average.
that's good. That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah. There's a lot of 8 and 9s in there.
What I'm thinking of is that's about equal to my my current hit points, and I'm picturing that into
And
I
this.
would like to do an
Unfortunately,
Obviously,
just take all of your.
Yeah, and one Iggy's worth of damage isn't that much, really, but this is actually all I can muster. And
That's
I
a lot
hope
more than Huck's 8 points.
That was so sweet. I'm not gonna. The joke if podcast listeners I was gonna go. And unfortunately, it takes your life force as you guys can spell. But no.
yeah.
65 points of damage is a incredible amount of damage. You know. Let me put it this way. If the Mór Demon was a frothy, tasty pint poured by your favorite bartender in your favorite bar, and after a long day's work, they slid it over the counter and they said, you know what, first one's on us. How would you down that?
She is going to she grabbed this sword, and it just begins slashing and slashing, and I want all of the, if possible, the what we're zombies, but all the souls all on the walls, to, even if they just feel like some of this magic rays are coming from them and their hands, so it really can feel like this is everyone just slashing, and I'm hoping there's some sort of blood and skeleton breaking happening, because I want it to be gory. It's like an emotional moment, but
Are there,
it
like,
should be
multiple
fairly gory.
spiritual hands of the people who have died also slashing with you? You've got like a flurry of swords behind you.
Exactly. Yeah, and so actually maybe I think it's going to be a certain way, but actually their vengeance comes and it's even gorier. Because I'd say they're pretty pissed. And I hope Huck is one of these. I hope Huck is closer and is getting some, I hope he's getting some punches in.
He's yelling, "You have no friends! You have no friends!" It's the worst thing you can imagine saying.
This is really going to shatter his confidence. You obliterate the Mór Demon into 1,000 million tiny little shards. In fact, let's add to your inventory. I don't know what this will become, but like a beholder dust. That sounds great. Anyone who wants beholder dust, there's Randy. I see your eyes lighting up. I know what you want.
We also need the eye of the beholder, so don't fuck it up too much badly.
we need beauty. That's it's like
Yeah, shit, we need
We need the eye.
Well, here's the thing. As the dust settles, the dust caused by a skull absolutely obliterated, you realize that this Mór Demon did not have... It was a skull with no eye. There was no eye in this demon. And just like there's no eye in
There's
T.
no I in D.
Um,
That's better.
No, yours is better.
Yours is better. Okay, describe the D.
No, yours is better. The dust settles. The effects of the spells wear off. and the spiritual shapes around you turn from sort of dark purplish crackling lightning of red into a more pale blue, green, and yellows and oranges. It seems like their souls are at peace, and they have become sort of rested little flames in the sky. Flames that have, the shapes of bodies around them. A lot of them move on, the ones that you don't know, but some stay. And Iggy, you see in this crowd of people, a woman step forward. She has short, sort of chestnut brown hair. She is in herself quite short, quite sharp features, but soft green eyes. You know her. You didn't always get on with her. She wasn't your mom, but she was the mom who stepped up. This is your stepmom. We don't have a name for your stepmom. I was going to call her Virgin Juice.
Virgin Juice is like the meanest thing you could give a step.
You didn't have this job yourself. You must be a virgin.
Yeah. The one thing I think is that my dad didn't fuck you. Yeah. It's pretty
That's
dumb.
so grim.
The only name-like thing I've got is Fionn or Zagavor. But
Zagavor makes her
I also
instantly
have
sound
a
like
maroon.
demon.
Come on, you guys always have nice names. Do anything.
I could give her
I
sexiest
mean,
can
did we use
alive.
Siren? Did we use Siren yet?
Siren's a good
Yeah,
name.
but-
Siren's a great name.
Siren.
And it's a classic name for the old stepmother. The siren call. You don't
Yeah,
trust
that's
her.
what we all think of when we think of
Is she
stepmoms. Mermaids luring single dads to their death.
How irresistibly
That's how stepmoms
sexy
work.
they are.
Yeah, that's how stepmoms work. Everyone does that.
Can I go to her? Is she like on down
She
near
on
me?
land.
Can I
Is
walk?
that
Can I
what you were
try?
gonna say?
Unlike
Sorry.
most sirens, she is on land. She is in front of you. She's beside two other women. You see beside her Wildfire, your stepsister. Or you recognize her instantly.
Virgin Juice over there. Yeah.
Yeah, very old Virgin Juice.
See, that's perfect. That is exactly what
grim.
one sister
That's
would call
grim
another.
because of
That is so.
how young did this other sister die?
Doesn't matter. You don't understand sisters,
Yeah.
man. 2 6-year-olds,
Yeah.
you virgin.
Virgin.
She's there, and then also one of your childhood. You didn't really get on. She was a bit more of a jock. She was a little bit butcher, ripped, wearing sort of worn leathers, blonde hair in a braid, and a huge giant war hammer by her side. Soup, the rose of an Igla. You see, Soup. Your good old,
name
good old,
with such a feminine, delicate title. That's amazing.
the rose of an Igla.
Like, that's like calling someone like Dirtball, the glamorous princess of Fairy Rock.
Yeah.
Soup is brilliant, though. That's a
Can
great
I?
name.
I want to just exclaim at them that I found you. It's really you. It's really you. Can I bring you back? Bacchus wants to see you. Can I have I assume this won't work, but I have the spell Revivify, and I just know that I know it won't work, but I just know she would try. She would have grabbed the diamonds from her bag, potentially, and just is there any she would just try and see if anything can be done to bring them back.
Yeah, roll just a straight d20.
You had diamonds in your bag?
Well, I know my thing is I just heard you needed them for Revivify, and even though technically I do my spells on a thing, I was just always afraid that Ben would be like, actually, there's a component missing. So I still.
You've a spell focus that can sub in for that stuff, unless it's something that's worth 1,000 gold, then you usually have to supply it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I did steal it from in that place we're in where we
being
stuff.
in hell, Huck is dead. You just summon the spirits of dead animals, all this kind of stuff, and this crazy shit's happening. Then Randir's like, "Are those diamonds?" Oh shit!
Yeah. Ben, I wish I did it on D&D. I wish I did it on D&D Beyond, but I just got a natural 20.
Yes, perfect.
And my Dakota dice never looked more beautiful. I know it's still not possible.
These are shapeless forms. Spirits without a form to return to. I was going to do something here, and I'm not. In this moment, Arlington, as you kind of calm down, and you know what Iggy's trying to do, specters, ghosts, things without a body to return to, you feel a whisper on the wind saying, "That is unnatural." But as that whisper happens, corporeal forms create themselves in reality around these three women. Iggy is a law unto herself. And while these do not have bodies in the conventional sense, in a moment, in a plea of passion, they do. There was no body to return to for these souls, and now there is. They're in them. They are standing in front of you, flesh and bone. I don't want to tell you how only a natural 20 would have done that.
I think if Arlington
I
went
pull
still in
up
a
the-
little bit of a frenzied rage, that would feel unnatural. But frenzied rage, Arlington is like, no, those are three alive people, so this is fine.
I paw at them and their clothes and their faces and their hair and hug them and cry.
They are pure tears, not soup. Soup is a hard stone. But
There is no soup coming from their eyes.
Stone cold bitch, that soup.
But
but Wildfire and Siren are in floats of tears, and your mother says, We've been, it's felt like eternity, and we didn't think we were ever going to, there was no rest here, there was no rest, just lust, and Iggy, you, I can't thank you, and Bacchus is alive, the demon didn't get back, and she is just a flood of emotion and wonder, in the same way that if you trapped someone into a sense for 5 to 10 years, just find them into time, and all of that came forward at once. This is what this woman feels. I wish we named your stepbrother, because she would obviously ask about him too. I can't remember if we did name him. So
Can't remember having a stepbrother. I'm a terrible stepsister.
I think you had a stepsister, stepbrother, and then a stepmother. We filled out your family a little bit, but for the sake of a show that literally invents NPCs on the spot, she also asks about him. Let's call him Fionn. Because we do have a White Hag Fionn at the table. And Fionn, is he fine too? Is he okay?
Oh, he is alive.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's
Just
It's like, I don't give a shit about my
He's
stepbrother.
alive to you. Oh,
What?
then yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as Fionn.
Yes,
We have
once you
so-
died, I was always taking care of my stepbrother. That was my first concern.
Yeah. I'm gonna assure them yes, and immediately pull out like pages I have of drawings of things that have happened that they've missed, and just reminisce. And in the back of my head though, I'm thinking, or maybe I'm not thinking, is Huck, is he red? Should he wear? Sorry, I wasted my natural 20 on that.
I know.
I think Randy is just going to elbow Arlington and just be like, I noticed she didn't bring back Hook.
So I think I'm
Huck
distracted.
is trying to be very good and not get step on your moment by being all
Actually,
pissed off.
have all the zombies collapsed? Is Zombie Hook still there?
Zombie Hook isn't there, but, and I do love how we try to do like poignant emotional moments in the show, but our very format like is set up for punches, and like we need a name for this stupid fucking character. Virgin
Yeah.
Juice, grand, that'll do.
Gotta love Snake Dog.
Snake Dog.
Snake Dog.
Snake Dog. She was she was the worst.
Huck didn't have a there was no floating flame in Huck's zombie body. That is somewhere else. But his body is here. So no animation in his corpse. However, his physical form is here. But you all know that his soul is actually on the material plane. There would be no connecting those two until they are together.
Pick up his body and stuff him into a bag. Like legs and maybe a wrist sticking out kind of limply.
Huck, you're mid jack swoop and you feel like a cramp. You're like, oh fuck, what the fuck?
I am gonna have some words.
I'd like to think that Arlington is like stuffing him in a sack while looking up, as if he's like Huck is looking down to scrape. He's just like,
this
don't look at this.
angle, like the kind of thing your phone sees when you're just like doom scrolling, that kind of like right up his nose. It's all right, my little prince.
Arlington, I presume you have. I presume you carry rabbit pelts on your belts just for food for later. So maybe just hook them onto like I'll just join you to the crew here.
Beside a bunch of rabbits. Oh god.
Yeah, right in with your little scavenging and hunting. I'll bring this to good old Pearson. He might make me a good old satchel.
I won't get these mixed up and accidentally cook and eat him. That's unlikely to happen.
Or summon his soul into a normal rabbit's body.
Wait a minute, is that how we got to be a rabbit in the first place, maybe?
Anyway, so Iggy, you were
This has
having
happened before.
an emotional moment with your dead family.
Alive family.
Hello? Yeah, sorry. I'm corrected. They've been retconned.
Yeah, I have to get them
Undead.
back.
Undead family.
Quick, how exactly are we going to get us all reunited again with, the man upstairs, Bacchus? I'm asking. I don't know. I have no idea.
He insists on being
With that question lingering, should put those cans down. With that question lingering in your mind, in that you realize you have taken a one-way trip to hell with no discernible way back yet. You can put those cans in your fridge. No discernible way back yet. And as you're standing in the former Mór Demon's lair, you don't know where to go next. You are not in the underworld proper, nor are you in the material plane. You're in this sort of halfway path in which this demon was siphoning off souls. As far as I know, none of you can cast plane shift. So with that lingering question in mind, how are you ever going to get back home? We will end tonight's stream. But not before I tell you about the delightful... beers can work. This is the amount of beers we used tonight, I am chuffed. This is always what it was meant to be. Me versus you.
The mechanic we set out to use. Well, actually, sorry, we introduced
It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to focus on beers when you're dead. Let me tell you. I've been using cans, all sorts. I don't have to worry about my character.
It's going to be interesting to recommend the show to people. Be like, okay, you'll enjoy it or whatever. But after about 58 episodes in, they really have they have their first combat encounter, and then they start using the beer mechanics. But up until then, it's fine.
I mean, it's been called homebrew the whole time, but they'd use beers now.
They named it. Listen, the Snake Dog episode and then episode 58 are where you want to start.
Just skip right forward. And even, there's a Snake Dog reference in 58. You'll feel right about it.
Yeah, exactly. Find all the Snake Dog references peppered through.
There is no eye of a beholder in the pummeled, dusty corpse of the Death Tyrant. That is not to say that it was always a Death Tyrant in this room. Perhaps once it was a beholder. Where that eye is gone.
Strap it to myself and fashion beholder bow and armor under the impression that would make me incredibly powerful.
It will.
Good.
Unless you're allergic to... Are you allergic to bone?
Probably not. I've probably eaten a lot of bone.
Yeah, but you do come out in rashes quite a lot. That's too.
True. Do you know what it is? It's probably like lactose intolerance, where I can wear it, but I'll probably have the shits the next day or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought you were just going to blame the calcium in the bone. You're like lactose intolerant.
My body can't process it.
You know the way the bones are like milk when you eat bones. I'm a lactose intolerant, so I'm not allergic to bones per se.
It's the lactose in the bones.
Make a constitution save at the end of the day to make sure I don't shit myself.
Who has the necklace of the goose?
That was Rian.
Still
I was just
Rian,
thinking,
yeah. He can shit a golden egg at the end of every day.
We're gonna finally meet back up.
I mean,
and
how
he's
many
gonna have,
how many golden
family of
eggs?
geese with him because he's just been firing out eggs.
Count up the days and make them roll for every one of them. See how many, you know?
Yeah, true. With no eye in sight and no way to get back home, think on that as players over the next 2 weeks. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We're back on February 15th. So if you're watching live, I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you're taking a moment to love yourself or taking a moment to show someone else in your life that you love them dearly. I am a fan of all types of love, be it friendship love, platonic love, sexual, whatever.
Which wasn't planned. I believe D8 Dungeon.
No,
Yeah.
Wes. I won't go on a date. Sorry, you were doing something sweet. I was being mean. Go ahead.
Day special, so check them out for that because they are, recently were on our show and are very good. If you like D&D from Ireland, check them out. Would recommend. Good crack. Good people.
Absolutely. D8 Dungeon or Romancing Dungeon or Rise of the Forsaken, you will find them across socials if you search those terms. And
Don't let that Declan guy talk to your DM and make him meaner.
Yeah. You gotta watch
Kills the
that.
character, a beloved character.
he, the other day, he asked me to hang on to a pack of smokes for him because he didn't want to have them at home. He's a bad influence, guys. That's he's gotten me into this thing called Volo's Guide to Monsters, and boy, there are a lot of
That's how
monsters.
behind we are.
I heard him talking to Ben once, and he was like, "Look, if you're hungry, is it wrong to steal a loaf of bread? Now, what about if you have a big
Jean
family?
Valjean
It's time
of
to
D&D, I've
steal
always
all of
said.
the bread." I mean, I was going Fat Tony, but yeah.
It's basically the same character.
We'll be back. We'll be back February 15th. That's what we're trying to tell you. We'll be here in 2 weeks' time to get out of hell. Until then, do look after yourselves, treat yourselves well. I hope you have a lovely month of love, and be sound to yourself and to each other. Good night, and joy be with you all.
Bye.
Don't shoot.